Hey everybody, it's Atheist for the Cause here, and I wanted to talk about Megyn Kelly, because many of you know she had Alex Jones on, and she was attempting to do a hit piece on him, but he ended up recording the setup and exposing her as basically lying to him, and he released, they were going to edit it up, but he released the full content so that it kind of destroyed what they wanted to do to him. And her ratings just tanked. Like, she got beat out by a rerun of America's Funniest Home Videos. But so a lot of people know that her ratings were bad with that Alex Jones show interview. But what they don't know is that on the week following that interview, her ratings continued to fall. It says Sunday Night with Megyn Kelly continued its downward trajectory in the Sunday night overnight ratings, with the new NBC News magazine slipping to a new low in both the key demo and total viewers. Meanwhile, Fox fell to an average of less than 1 million viewers on a rerun-dominated night. Airing at 7 p.m. Sunday night averaged at in a 0.4 rating in adults 18 to 49 and 3.4 million viewers, according to Nielsen data. This is down from a 0.5 3.6 million viewers last week's episode, which featured Kelly's controversial interview with InfoWars founder Alex Jones. Keep in mind that 3.6 million is not, it alone is not very good. It's only a 0.5. In the, from what never mind, I'll get to it. In the time slot, Sunday night lost out to CBS 60 Minutes, which was down from its last new episode on June 11th with a 0.7 and 7.2 million viewers. ABC led the night with a rerun of America's Funniest Home Videos of a 0.7, 3.9 million. So 0.7 is seems to be about decent. She's at a 0.5 and a 0.4. And I can't imagine that America's Funniest Home Videos is killing it. So, NBC aired Despicable Me and a rerun of Little Big Shots, Forever Young, for the rest of prime time. ABC's fortunes improved with its 8 to 11 p.m. game show stack. Celebrity Family Feud rose in total viewers. Steve Harvey's Thunderdome ticked up in both measures, as did the $100,000 Pyramid. CBS aired only repeats. Fox aired mostly repeats except at 9 p.m. with a new episode of American Grit, which got 0.41 million, which was down in both measures. ABC won the night with a 1.1 and 5.4 million viewers. NBC was second in the demo with a 0.6, but third in total viewers with 2.7 million. CBS and Fox tied for third in the demo with a 0.4, but CBS was second in total viewers with 4.8 million. Fox was fourth in total viewers with 980,000. So, she's not doing well. That's the moral of this story here. And it gets worse for her. Advertisers withdrawing from Megyn Kelly's show due to Alex Jones' interview. Remember, this is essentially Megyn Kelly blowing her load. She went out to get Alex Jones, and this was supposed to be her big thing. And it says, multiple advertisers have told NBC that they don't want to be anywhere near Megyn Kelly's forthcoming interview with controversial media personality Alex Jones. NBC expects the advertiser flight to be temporary, however. Still, that can't be good. This comes with the territory, NBC News chairman Andy Lack told CNN Tuesday. We kind of know when we're doing controversial stories that's going to happen. It doesn't stop us from doing controversial stories. Well, you at least expect it to boost your ratings exceptionally. You don't want to be a 0.4 or 0.5. And also lose advertisers, and also lose your main demographic. NBC declined to say how many advertisers have distanced themselves from Kelly's new show Sunday night. Most of them are on the local level, meaning companies that bought ads on NBC-owned stations. NBC expects there will be a full slate of nationally televised ads on Kelly's show this Sunday, despite the controversy. And as for the companies that have withdrawn, they'll all be coming back. They've been clear about that, Lack said Tuesday. You can hope. Only one of them, J.P. Morgan Chase, has been identified publicly. While the company has declined to comment, the Wall Street Journal reported that the bank asked for all of its ads to be removed from all NBC news programming until after the show airs. The bank's chief marketing officer, Kristen Lemko, tweeted, "As an advertiser, I'm repulsed that Megyn Kelly would give a second of airtime to someone who says Sandy Hook and Aurora are hoaxes." It is interesting to me. I don't think that we should really be in a culture where, because MSNB or NBC did something that people don't like, now somehow that says something about advertisers, so they get scared off and pull their ads. I'm not a big fan of that, but since that's the game that's being played, everybody's going to be like pressuring advertisers into dropping channels that basically cover controversial things, and it basically makes all these news channels and news stations just pander to the crowd. They're not really going to give real reporting, and that's unfortunate, but that's where we are. And by the way, Alex Jones does say that Sandy Hook happened. Alex Jones did a really interesting thing where he turned this around on her, and because she ended up interviewing someone out, like a father who said that he held his child's head with a bullet in it, and Alex Jones said there's no way that he could have done that because they didn't let people touch their kids or something like that. And so now he's painting it as she's the conspiracy theorist. Pretty interesting. But there's more. Because there's some talk of a buyout because Megyn Kelly is doing so bad. The exclusive from Breitbart source says Megyn Kelly would not be welcomed back at Fox News. Now, I thought if she left NBC, if she wanted to go back to Fox News, that would make sense. I thought Fox News would want her back because she did so well. But maybe they don't want to set a precedent or something. And they're apparently not interested in having her back. This could really destroy Megyn Kelly long term. Where's she gonna go? Fox News is really the one conservative outlet on cable news, and she's not working on the liberal outlet. So why would another liberal outlet want her? If you see how badly she failed at NBC, and say you're CNN or something, why would you be oh yeah, that's the anchor I want to go get? Now, I think that One American News should try to get her. That's what I think. I don't think they can afford her, though. That's the only thing. But if her value drops enough, One American News, it'd be interesting if she went on there. Or maybe you could offer some ownership or something. But after Kelly's controversial and much hyped interview with Alex Jones, tanked by again failing to beat our reruns of 60 Minutes and America's Funniest Home Videos, New York radio host Mark Simone tweeted on Monday that NBC is trying to unload Kelly and convince Fox News to take her back. But a high-ranking Fox News source told Breitbart News that there is no way Kelly would come back to the network. Quite simply, the source told Breitbart News Kelly would not be welcomed back. Well, she was also in the middle of the whole sexual assault scandal stuff, so it makes sense not to bring her back for that reason. Where she's, part of the reason like Bill O'Reilly ended up going, and like a lot of Fox News lost a lot of other women. But there was actually wrongdoing going on, so I don't feel bad for Fox News, but I can see why you wouldn't bring her back into that environment. It'd be really awkward. Simon also suggested that if Kelly becomes more toxic and her ratings tank even more, NBC will have to take her show off the network. And if they are stuck with her, they'll give her an MSNBC show. That makes sense, but that's kind of like hiding her. I mean, I guess you could try to do what I would do, put her on MSNBC and try to do a like Rachel Maddow versus Megyn Kelly type of thing, where you have, Maddow is the liberal perspective and then Kelly is the conservative perspective, or something like that. And then, it'd be a light conservative perspective. It'd be basically liberal news through a conservative. And, they'd have different shows, but for people who wanted both perspectives, maybe that would work. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like putting her on MSNBC would be hiding her. And you'd basically be just trying to limit the damage at that point. Because NBC gets about 20 million viewers, according to Project Veritas, the guy in Project Veritas. He said that CNN or NBC gets like 20 million, and like cable news network gets around a million. So by putting her on MSNBC, it would be her audience would be down, to about 5% of what it was. Says, before she bolted to NBC, Kelly anchored The Kelly File on Fox News. During the 2016 election cycle, Kelly won praise from mainstream media journalists when she tried to undercut Donald Trump during the first Republican presidential debate in August of 2015 in Cleveland, Ohio. She also gave Never Trumpers a forum on her primetime show to constantly slam Trump throughout the election cycle. And as the Daily Beast, Lloyd Grove noted, Kelly also hastened Roger Ailes' forced resignation last July with her fateful decision to recount his misconduct to a team of lawyers hired by 21st Century Fox to investigate allegations made in the sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit filed by Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson. New York Magazine's Gabriel Sherman reported that Kelly told investigators that Ailes made unwanted sexual advances towards her about 10 years ago when she was a young correspondent at Fox. Now, we shouldn't be criticizing Megyn Kelly for this. It's actually a good thing she did. And, Roger Ailes, he's a scumbag, basically. As Grove pointed out, Kelly in her book said that there was some poetic justice in the role she played in helping boo Ailes out of Fox News. I'm sure she did this, though, expecting to leave, and then not expecting things to go so terribly after she did. She's kind of burned some bridges. I worked my tail off. I established myself as a serious person, Kelly wrote. I built my own power, and when the allegations against Roger hit, I used it. Perhaps there is some poetic justice in that. And she probably shouldn't have said that. That's only going to get people against you. NBC reportedly invested nearly $20 million a year to bring Kelly to the network, and NBC's investment has not paid any dividends at all. After an interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin, Kelly was mocked for being way out of her league, and when Huffington Post obtained the full unedited interview in which a nervous Kelly lobbed Putin softballs, Kelly was subjected to another round of criticism. Well, if you're going to have someone like Putin on, a lot of times you have to do softballs because otherwise they won't come on. It's like an agreement. Hey, we'll bring you on and we'll lob you softballs and then you can hit them out of the park. And that's why they come on your show. Her interview with Jones did not have any news value and may have damaged NBC's and her reputation more than it helped. Advertisers like J.P. Morgan Chase fled while Kelly lost credibility in the eyes of many when, in a leaked recording that Jones released, Kelly is heard telling Jones, "It's not gonna be some gotcha hit piece, I promise you that." NBC did not help matters when it released a photo of Kelly and Jones that, as the Hill's media columnist Joe Concha described, looked like they were on a Tinder date pulling up to a drive-thru. It did. It was like they were both wearing sunglasses and like they were in a car and they had their arms around each other. And it's weird because she's married and he's recently divorced or something like that. Yeah, he's been divorced and he was going through the child custody battle not too long ago. I don't know if that's going on or not anymore, but I think he played it up as if he was like she was trying to flirt with him, and I think he played it up like that it was working when it was all a trap to record her and use information against her later. And holy cow, she got schooled. Yet despite all of the hype, Kelly's interview with Jones still flopped. 60 Minutes and America's Funniest Home Videos reruns even beat Kelly's show by nearly 40% in the coveted 18 to 49-year-old demographic, as Concha noted. A television executive told CNN over the weekend that NBC's fundamental mistake was thinking that Kelly was actually a superstar. NBC's executives have already reportedly determined that viewers are not going to tune in Sunday nights with Megyn Kelly just to watch Kelly and are freaking out over the ratings disaster that is Kelly. Well, she actually was pretty much a superstar. The problem is she was a conservative superstar, not a liberal superstar. I don't know why people don't understand the importance of ideology. So, and there was this article, Megyn Kelly's move to NBC will likely make her the world's highest paid female news anchor. I just wanted to show you how fast she has fallen. This is January 3rd of 2017. We're not even out of June yet, and they're talking about getting rid of her. And here's a nice little graph here. And it shows that she's getting less than Matt Lauer. I have no idea how he makes $25 million, but she's getting less than $20 million. That's what she was offered to stay at Fox. But she's getting more than $15 million, which is what she was making at Fox. So I think she's got to be making something close to $20 million. So she's likely making more than Bill O'Reilly, more than Robin Roberts, more than Kelly Ripa, I think is how you say her last name. And she's not coming close to them in her views. So, but let's go on, and the last article I wanted to get to, which is again about how fast she has fallen from January 3rd. Megyn Kelly is now one of the highest paid hosts on TV. Here's where her salary ranks, just to kind of give you some idea. And there's an interesting nugget in here. So, this is when it says, after 12 years with Fox News, Megyn Kelly is moving on and up to host several shows at NBC. In a broad multi-year deal with the broadcast network, Kelly will anchor a new NBC news program on Sunday evening. So, Anderson Cooper makes 9 to 11 million. So she's making about twice what Anderson Cooper is. I'm shocked he's not making more. George Stephanopoulos, 10 million. I mean, this is a guy who actually has experience running campaigns. Chelsea Handler, 10 million. No clue how she makes that much, but Shepard Smith, 10 million. Seems about right. Robin Roberts, 10 to 14 million. Conan O'Brien, 12 million. Kind of seems low for him, but Pat Sajak, 12 million. Makes sense with his seniority, and he's kind of the face of the show. Jimmy Kimmel, 13 to 15 million. Jimmy Fallon, 13 to 15 million. Adam Levine, 13 to 15 million. Miley Cyrus, 13 to 15 million. Man, they're paying a lot of money to these judges. Megyn Kelly, 15 to 20 million. So she is above all of those other people. And she's probably closer to the 20 million. It says Kelly is set to make 15 million in her last year at Fox News. The cable news network offered her more than 20 million to renew her contract, according to the New York Times. Despite being courted by rival news organizations, including NBC News, it became clear that they could not match Fox News' money, according to the Times. That likely means that NBC won over Kelly with a deal that would make her a star on its broadcast network, and hence give her a wider audience, with a salary landing between 15 and 20 million. So that gives some insight on why she would take it, because she would want to grow her audience and there's more long-term potential. Kelly Ripa, now this is saying she's making 16 to 20 million. That seems to be more on the, because the other one was saying what? I guess around 16 to 20 million. They have her on the lower range though. So you can argue that Megyn Kelly is actually making more than Kelly Ripa too, and more than Bill O'Reilly, as we see here, potentially. And Matt Lauer, this says 20 million, this says 25 million. As you can tell, these are estimates. And then Ellen DeGeneres at 20 million makes quite a bit. And Judge Judy, holy cow, $47 million. She's a beast. She just drops truth bombs though. And she tells people what she doesn't want to hear. I used to hate her because I thought that she was just like completely, unwilling to see it from both sides, I guess, and kind of jump to conclusions sometimes. But in the end, it's like, now that I'm older and saw some shows, not being a kid, it's like, yeah, she's just telling these people what she knows they need to hear, and she's being basically a bitch about it because that's the only way she can get through to them. So yeah, it's quite amazing. Like, Megyn Kelly has fallen so hard so fast. I never expected this. I thought she was going to likely succeed and maybe take a little hit for being, jumping to liberalism, but man, this is an epic failure. So, and this Alex Jones thing, has really destroyed her. She's continued to drop, and don't expect her at NBC in prime time for very long, because they can't afford to put her there, to keep her there. I'll talk to you guys later.